live at 5, of course. Time to unwind on this Friday, late Friday afternoon. So you grab a cuppa or a wine, whatever takes your fancy. And yeah, just sit back and take some time out to unwind from a busy week. And yeah, just enjoy some creativity. I just always enjoy a little bit of me time while little Miss is off to her gymnastics class. So yeah, she's got a couple of hours there. So this is me enjoying some creativity. So today I'm using Swirled Designs bundle. Now it's, you know, this is, we're here in April at the moment. If you're watching the replay, then obviously it might be a bit later than that, but during April, it's, you know, we're in what we call retirement time. Enjoy them before they head off on holidays permanently. Anyway, so the Swirled Designs bundle is one of those that will be leaving us shortly. And so I just want to have a play with it because it's just one of those fun ones with abstract sort of images, and it's not always immediately obvious what you can do with them, with stamps like these and dies like these. So the dies themselves don't actually cut out the stamps, but instead they sort of work to complement each other, the imagery. So yeah, so they're quite fun, and I like these types of stamps because they're really great for creating texture and fun backgrounds and things like that. I use them a lot when I sort of do journaling pages and things. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. So today I've got a little project where we're going to make a card using a few of these pieces, and yeah, it's just sort of working with creating a background on a small piece, but then I was also inspired by the sample that actually goes with this bundle on the online store. Yeah, I quite enjoyed how, you know, what our concept artists did with them. So I've kind of had a little bit of a play with that. And yeah, so we're just working with a basic white card base. So again, I've gone ahead and prepared it. But of course, we start with an A4 piece of cardstock that we cut in half on the long edge. And then we score it and fold in half to make our base. And as always, I need to use my bone folder to crisp it up so it sits flat so that we can work with that. So I'm just going to pop that one off to the side, have some fun. So I'm going to use this stamp here today, which is, it's this one here. And I like it because if you can see, it's kind of grey on the print. And what that generally means is that it's sort of got a textural sort of feel about it. So it sort of picks up and puts down ink at slightly different levels. So you get an ombre kind of look, if you like, or a watercolored sort of look about the stamp. So yeah, we'll that'll make sense in a minute. So yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and stamp this stamp a few times. I'm gonna start with Flirty Flamingo ink. So it's kind of a light pink. It's kind of not a true ink, but kind of a little bit more towards sort of the orange shades, I guess. It's that salmon-y color. Okay, so I'm going to turn this one around. I'm going to start with the darker edge up in that corner. Alrighty, let's go here. So there you go. So it's nice and light. And yeah, as you can see, it's sort of darker at this end and then it fades off a little bit. So I'm just going to give this a little bit of a clean because I'm going to switch colours. Alrighty, next colour off the rank is Pretty in Pink. Now this one is a retiring in colour. So we've had fun with this one for the last 2 years. And now it's time for this one to bid us farewell. So this one will be, it's made its way onto the retiring list or our last chance list. Okay, so now what I've done is rotated my stamp 180 and I'm going to stamp it the other way up here. So I'm focusing on, yeah, the first two, taking up the top half. And I've got 2 more colours to go. So we'll just whiz through this next little bit. Alrighty, bubble baths next up on the list. Now this one is, I'm going to, rotate it this way. Now this one's quite light as well. So I'm just going to give it a really good ink. Okay. That one's going to go here. There you go. Very, very light. But that's okay because it's a background, right? And now this next one is Petunia Pop, which is hugely dark. But I've got a little tip for you. So Petunia Pop is another one that is retiring. So I want to have a little bit of a play with this one before this one goes away because it's just a gorgeous colour. Alrighty, let's see. I'm going to stamp. So I want to stamp this one, but I don't want it to, so where it's quite dark, it'll, like Petunia Pop's really dark colour. So I want that light, but where it's light, that will fade right away. So what I've worked out, let's hope this works live. I've practiced this afternoon, but of course we're live, so anything's going to happen here. So what I'm going to do is stamp it off. But if I stamp it now, this light section will be really light and this will be really dark. So I'm actually going to do that process again. And what that does is it kind of, it leaves a layer on there already to build on. So that way, you can actually see a little bit more of the colour. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do is, just moving something around here. Alrighty, I'm going to set this one aside because I'm going to add a few little speckles and things, but I want to do that after, because I want to build a few more pieces so that we can sort of see where those speckles are going to go. So I've got some Summer Splash cardstock and I'm going to use some Summer Splash ink and just add some to my, to the cardstock so that I've got light and shade on my cardstock. It's not all one flat color. Summer Splash is another one in that set of in colours that will be retiring. Alrighty, so that will, yeah, that will be enough. Now, where are my little stars? I'm going to add some stars to my shading. Alrighty, so just that size. Now, what I'm going to do with that is, where are my die set? So I'm going to use this guy here, and I'm actually going to die cut it out. Sorry, I want that shape. So that's, you know, that gave me the size of what I needed to blend and stamp. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and actually die cut my piece already, and before I did that I applied some adhesive sheet to the back of the cardstock. Let me show you, just like this. So that's my cardstock. Now I've put adhesive sheet on the back, and what that does is turns my sticker, my die cut into a sticker, so I don't have to get glue all over my fingers when working with such fine detail. So it's really cool. The hardest part, of course, is getting the back off. So in comes weeding tip. And let's see if we can get this guy off. There we go. Nice. Alrighty, let's gently peel him. Alright, and now we're just going to stick this guy on over the top here. There we go. So that's pretty cool. Alrighty, and now we're just going to fussy cut him out. Nice little therapeutic activity for a Friday afternoon. So if you're watching, please feel free to say hi in the chat, unless my chat's just really not working today, because I still can't see. But anyway, so if you've got any questions or anything, I'll come back to you afterwards. Alrighty, so I really liked that. I really liked how it's same color, but you can just create sort of more texture with, you know, a little bit of ink of the same color and some stamping as well. So I thought that was a pretty cool little detail on that was used by one of our concept artists. So yeah, I just wanted to I thought that would make a great addition to this card here. Alrighty, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop some little strips that I've cut of cardstock in Summer Splash as well. I'm going to put those on the edges of my stamped layer. So I'm actually going to use a dry glue for this one. You can use Tombow if you like. That will give you the wiggle room, but it either will work nicely. All right, so I just want a little bit of edge poking out, and we want to try and get that as even as we can. Doesn't always work, but you know, we try. There we go. Alrighty, so let's take a look at how this card is going to come together. I'm going to pop this panel just on the side here, and then our little decorative element here is going to sit here and just give us a nice little focal point to work with. But before I adhere these layers down, I do want to add a little bit more stamping. So I want to bring in some splotches and might add some stars as well. I'm going to wing it a little bit. So yeah, so what I'm going to do is use some petunia pop again, just to add a splash, and I might actually stamp off as well. So let's look at this one. I am going to do these. So here's a design sort of tip for you. These stamped images here are sort of making angles or lines going that way on that sort of you know, on that angle. So to add interest, I'm actually going to stamp these little speckles, even though they are, you know, random speckles, they, like that, they sort of are shaped in a line. So to add interest, I'm going to go in the opposite direction, and that kind of creates a bit of a, yeah, it adds interest. So I'm just going to pop one there, and I'm going to pop another one over this way, I think. Yeah, something like that. Okay, I'll leave that open just in case I want to add another one. And I'm going to bring in my summer splash and pop some stars on as well. All right, let's put that stamp over there with that ink pad. And then I've got this one here. Alrighty. Now these guys, where am I going to put these guys? I'm going to follow that line, but sort of cross it with the other detail. And I'm actually going to do these ones at full strength so that your eye jumps. It keeps to the same color, and it kind of just, it jumps around to that same color wherever it's on the page. Kind of little trick that we do when we're designing things. I feel like I need to put one there, but I know that I'm going to put my sentiment there, so I will hold that thought and see if it needs one. Alrighty, so sentiment time. I'll move that one out of the way, and I'll bring in some scrap. Okay, little piece of scrap there. And I'm going to, this one comes from a different set, because obviously the Swirled Designs is just imagery. So of course you can team up any of, you know, the sentiments from other stamp sets that you might have. So I think this one's quite a fun design, so I'm going with a fun sort of sentiment rather than a, you know, a happy birthday or something, because you can always add those ones to the inside. So this one says, I like you lots. So it's a funny thing that sometimes we say in our family. I like you a lot is what we say. Usually when someone helps us out with something. So it's quite, yeah, that works in our family. This sentiment works in our family, and it's from the Nature's Symphony. Oh, let me just check. Yes, Nature's Symphony. It's from Nature's Symphony. So that one's still available at the minute. So I'm just fussy cutting these out. You always go slow when you fussy cut so that it goes, you cut it where you sort of like it to go. Alrighty, let's get rid of that. And so now I don't want to point there, so I'm just gonna curve it as I go around. Okay, so there we go. Let's see how this is coming together. So we've got this guy sitting there, and we've got this guy sitting here being our focal point, and then I'm just going to pop this guy here. So that's going to sit there. Now what I think I might do is add a little bit of twine. I'm going to make a bow. I'm just going to cut a bit off. Normally, you can do that on the roll if you like. It might help you not waste as much. So yeah. All right, let's do this. How big do I want this guy? All right, let's see. So I'm going to pop him just under here like that. I think so, yeah. Actually, I might tuck him under. Alrighty, so these are all my elements. Now, before I go and adhere all these guys together, what I might do is just check, do I want another... What I might do is just do another set of stars, but I'm going to stamp them off. And then I'm just going to have them poking out over here so that they're very light. Okay, I think that's going to work nicely. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, let's close up these ink pads before I drop something in them and then cry. Okay, so yay. Alrighty, so let's add some more adhesive. And we are going to do this guy and one like that. Okay, now over by the fold, let me just check. Wouldn't be the first time I've stuck it on the wrong face. Okay, our fold is on the left, so I think we might have all done that one before. Okay, so stick that one down there. Now these guys I'm going to pop on with some dimensionals. So let me find those. They are right here. Put this guy away. Alrighty. Wonder if Susan's watching. Was that enough for you, Susan? Maybe she'll watch the replay. She often does. She can leave me a comment. How many more would you pop on? Alrighty, so we will put this one here. Now I'm going to line up my points with the Summer Splash cardstock. And it can go in the middle. You can actually put this one on a little bit higher or lower on that line. It will work. Alrighty, so let's trim these off. I'm going to... It's going to be like that. Alrighty, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a glue dot for this guy. Now, when I'm putting on ones like these that are, it's quite thin. So what I like to do is roll my little glue dots into sausages, and then they become, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so then they become a little bit more suited to the size that we need. So there we go. All right, I'm going to pick this guy up with my tool. I think I use my weeding tool for just about everything now. All right. This is going to go here, like that. And I'm going to use, I think, a little mini dimensional on this side, over here. Yes, on that side. Should have checked that before, hey. That would have been funny if I had got it wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. Okay, and now I'm going to just pop a little bit of glue on this side, which is going to go over my my bow. Alrighty, peel that one off, and let's put this guy in here like that. Awesome. Okay, now one last thing. I need to find my bling. It's buried, they're buried under here. Oh, see, here they are. Okay, thought I was going crazy. So a couple of summer splash ones. I'm going to pop one down here. And I think I'm going to pop two over this side to frame my focal element. Ooh. There we go. How much fun is that? I would love to get a card like that. So yes, maybe I will, Mother's Day is coming up, maybe I will strategically leave this one lying around the house. Anyway, I hope you have enjoyed this little project today. I will be back sharing more projects on this page. So yeah, don't forget to like my page and follow my page so that you don't miss anything. Of course, the replay is going to be available on YouTube. So head over there and subscribe so that you don't miss the other types of projects that I post over there as well. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed that one today. And yeah, I look forward to bringing you more fun little projects again soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.